Okay, now we're at our school table and we have the list of questions that you guys asked us. So we're gonna try to answer some of your questions. Jordan's already tired and it's only 9:45 a.m., right? Ready for a nap. Okay, first of all, let's answer. They asked Jordan, I'm pointing at you, girl. They asked you, how can you play volleyball if everybody on your team is Honduran? And they said if you don't speak Spanish. Can you answer that?
We went to a Spanish-speaking school for 2 years, so that's how I learned Spanish.
Well, and we've lived here for 5.5 years. So Jordan speaks Spanish, and Lawson speaks Spanish, and Tobin speaks Spanish, and I speak Spanish, and their dad speaks Spanish. His name is John.
We'll have
So
to
that's
Jonathan later.
that's a clue. We all speak Spanish, so we can speak. Another thing that I want to point out, we'll send a video of Jordan playing volleyball later. I have one on my phone. I'll send it to your teacher. Okay, so I'm gonna look. I have some maps. Hopefully these come up. Let's see. I have some maps on my computer. Stop making that noise. All right. Can I get it to come in? I don't know. All right. Well, let's see. It's hard to focus on a screen. Maybe. Okay. Well. Oh. Okay. All right, let's look at this map. Okay, here is the United States. Okay, under the United States is Mexico. Okay, and you guys were talking about our money and our language, and a couple of people said Mexican. You talked about Mexican money, and you talked about Mexican, the language, but only things that are from Mexico are Mexican. Okay, so Mexico is its own country. Under Mexico is Central America. You see right here? And Central America is a group. Let's see, I have some more. Central America is a group of countries. There's Mexico under North America. Okay, and then we have these countries called, they're Central America: Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Panama. Okay, and we live in Honduras. So I'm going to switch. Okay, here is just Central America. So there's Honduras, right? And Nicaragua is where we went on our trip to the beach. Okay. Okay. Tegucigalpa is the capital of Honduras. Okay. Here is a map of actual Honduras. Okay. Okay, Tegucigalpa is the capital. Okay. And San Pedro Sula up here is the city that we fly into and out of. There's an airport there and there's an airport in Tegucigalpa. But we fly in and out of San Pedro Sula, and we live... Can I get it focused? Maybe not. Alright, well, we live in Santa Rosa de Copan. Okay, which is right over here. It's in the west, the way west. Okay, and the country above us, this brownish country, is Guatemala, and this country below us is El Salvador, and this country over here is Nicaragua. So we have a north coast up here touching the Caribbean Sea, and we have a tiny, tiny southern coast touching a Gulf of Fonseca, which is part of the Pacific Ocean, and we touch Guatemala, El Salvador, and Nicaragua. Okay, so our money is Honduran, not Mexican, and our food is Honduran, not Mexican, and we speak Spanish, not Mexican. Okay, so those things are just interesting for you to know. All right, so you see Santa Rosa de Copan, that's our city. Okay, and our city is pretty small. We only have about 50,000 people who live in our city. San Pedro Sula is a really huge city. Okay, and also Tegucigalpa is a really huge city. And there are lots and lots of crimes and things that happen in the bigger cities. There's crimes that happen everywhere, but that happens in America too. San Pedro Sula and Tegucigalpa are known for being pretty dangerous places. But a lot of the reason for that is because there's so many people bringing drugs. And I'm sure you guys have heard about drugs and drug problems. And a lot of the drugs that people use in the United States and other places come from Central and South America. And so that is a really big problem here. And it causes there's a lot of gangs and there's a lot of drugs and corruption and things like that. So we live in a pretty safe town, but you have to be careful everywhere you go. And so that is a little bit about Honduras and what side of Honduras we live in. There's not really a dangerous side or a good side, but there are safe areas and dangerous areas, and we live in a pretty safe area in Santa Rosa de Copan. You just made that sound on the thing.